Hi, and welcome back to this week's March Madness video where I'll be sharing with you from the topic, what do you fear? So we know fear is described as false evidence or expectations appearing real. So what are your fears? What are you afraid of? What is it that keeps you from doing the things that you want to do the most? And let me just put a pin right here, because when I ask that question, I really do uh, honestly ask because I want to know. You have no idea how many people I talk to on a daily basis, just in general conversation, that say things like, "Oh, Michelle, I see you're doing this, or you're doing that, or you're doing the other, and you know what? I just, when I see you, I just smile, and I go, wow, you know what? She's doing the very things that I want to do." And when I say, "Well, how come you're not doing them?" They say, "Oh, because I'm afraid." Afraid of what? What if people don't like my videos? What if they don't like my blog? Okay, just because those people don't, somebody is always going to like what you're doing. So when you allow fear to grab hold of you and hold on tight, and it keeps you from moving forward, that's a problem, y'all. And we need to really work on overcoming that. So we're all afraid of something. Let's be clear. We are all afraid of something. Now, I'm not ashamed to say this, but I am afraid of spiders. Truly afraid of spiders. I am afraid of snakes. Okay? So there are things that I am afraid of. Yes, the powerhouse, as I am called. I am afraid of snakes and spiders. So, and to be honest with you, I'm like a little bit afraid of clowns because sometimes they can be a little creepy. And I used to love clowns, but after I saw the movie that just kind of made me a little fearful of clowns. So, but that's a whole other story. So, most people aren't living to their full potential because of fear. And that's sad to think that you could be doing something great, but fear has such a hold on you that it won't let you go. Isn't that something, y'all? Think about something that you really want to do, and you're afraid to step out there to do it. And it doesn't matter what it is. It could be starting a business. It could be approaching someone to develop a friendship, hoping that it leads into a relationship. Whatever that fear is, you have got to work through it and let that thing go. Because if that fear grips you to the point where, like I said, you can't act on it, you are doing yourself such a grave disservice, and you're not living life to the fullest. So start thinking about the fears that you have that are holding on to you, and ask yourself why you are holding on to them. Things are going to go wrong from time to time, and it's okay. It's called life, and it happens to all of us at some time or another, right? See, sometimes you have to be your own motivator to help you move past your fear. And this is, let me put a pin right here, because oftentimes there are people that just can't do that. And so that is where I come in. I will be your biggest fan. I'll be your biggest cheerleader, your biggest advocate to, help you get motivated. But I need you to play a little bit of a part in that, right? Because if not, you start to leave holes in your self-esteem. Then you start to fill the hole. Then you start to fill the hole with negative self-talk, worry, depression, negative people, or worse, things like self-destructive behavior, such as drugs and alcohol. You become your own worst enemy. For some of us, that is true. So Les Brown says there's a difference between having fear and fear having you. First, you must acknowledge the fear. Then you need to embrace the fear. And what you resist will persist. Let me say that again. What you resist will persist. And then you need to move on. So you acknowledge the fear, you embrace the fear, and then you move on. So some fears are natural things that most of us go through. Like I just told you all, the dark, because I forgot to tell you I'm afraid of the dark as well. But like the dark, spiders, snakes. I'm afraid of thunder. I forgot to tell you about that. And I do have a fear of falling, because sometimes I can be clumsy when I'm not paying attention. So it is always a fear that I'm out in public and I'm like, Lord, please don't let me trip and fall. So that is a real fear of mine. I try not to dwell on it, because I feel like anything that you dwell on typically will happen for you. So let's talk about some different kinds of fear. So you have fear of success, and that's where people are afraid to step out and do something because they're afraid that if they're successful, people are going to want them to do it all the time. You have fear of failure. Some people don't step out there because they're afraid of failing, and they don't want people to see them as a failure, but life happens. Anytime you fail at something, you learn from it and you move on. There's the fear of leaving the known for the unknown. And this is a prime example of why some people stay in relationships that are toxic, because they're afraid to leave Johnny over here to get with Bob over there, because you know how Johnny is and you've tolerated, but you don't know what issues Bob is going to bring, so you're afraid to leave the known for the unknown. The fear of starting over. Some people have a fear of starting over. They say, why bother? I tried it. It didn't work. I'm not trying to do this again. Starting over in a business, starting over in a relationship. And usually relationships are the biggest ones that people have a fear of starting over. But you have to understand that whatever happened with those individuals, or with that job, or with that company, or whatever. You have to start something new, because that can be a whole new process in and of itself. And lastly, there's the fear of what other people are going to say and think. Honey, let me tell you something. If I worried about what people are going to say and think, I would never do anything. Yes, I care to a certain extent, meaning that I'm not going to carry myself in just any old kind of way, because I do care how people see me, but I'm not going to care to the point where I'm not going to step out and do my YouTube channel. I'm not going to not step out and do my YouTube channel. I'm not going to not step out and start my business. I'm not going to not step out and start my mastermind group, or my e-coaching group, and all those good things, because I don't care what people say and think. All I care about what it is that I want to do and how I can help other people. The opinions of others don't matter to Michelle, and they shouldn't matter to you either. Okay, so that's all I have for you for today, you guys. Like I said, when you talk about fear, you got to think about what kind of fear you have, and then tackle that thing head on, so it's not holding you back from being the great person that God has called you to be, and that God has called me to be. So I have just decided a long time ago, I'm not going to live in fear. I'm going to go out there and do it. If it doesn't work, guess what? I'm going back to the drawing board to figure out how to fix it. So this has been your March Madness video, the second one this month. We have 2 more coming up. So if you're new to my channel, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and the little bell, because I don't want you to miss anything. For my new subscribers, thank you so much. For those of you that continue to support my channel, I love you all to the moon and back. I do. I love each and every one of you. So thank you so much for allowing me to be able to speak life into you. So until our next video, you guys take care, and remember, figure out what it is that you fear and then do something about it. Until next week, take care.